For decades, the idea that the universe began with a fiery explosion and gradually cooled into the structured cosmos we see today has been the backbone of modern cosmology. Scientists believe they had a fairly complete timeline, from the formation of the first atoms to the birth of stars and galaxies. But everything changed the moment the James Webb Space Telescope began transmitting its first images. What it revealed was not just distant starlight, but something that shook the foundations of astrophysics. Among those who reacted with both awe and concern was the renowned theoretical physicist Michio Kaku, who has long advocated for pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. In his most recent statements, Kaku didn't just marvel at the data. He suggested that we might be on the verge of rewriting the entire story of the universe's beginning. The James Webb Space Telescope wasn't just built to take beautiful photos. It was designed to look back in time, deeper than any telescope before it. By observing infrared light emitted billions of years ago, it allows scientists to study celestial bodies that formed shortly after the Big Bang. One of its early images shocked researchers by showing not just faint glows from young stars, but fully formed galaxies, large, mature, and complex, existing just a few 100 million years after the universe supposedly began. According to standard models, such massive galaxies shouldn't have had enough time to form. They break all timelines predicted by the Big Bang Theory, and this discrepancy forced cosmologists to confront a harsh reality. Either the telescope is showing us something we don't yet understand, or the models we've trusted for generations are flawed. Michio Kaku addressed this directly, stating that science thrives when its assumptions are challenged. He argued that the presence of these ancient, mature galaxies suggests we might be underestimating the complexity and speed of galaxy formation, but even that might be a generous interpretation. The alternative is more unsettling, that the entire framework of our understanding, from dark matter to cosmic inflation, might be incomplete or even incorrect. These are not small tweaks. These are foundational shifts that could redefine our place in the universe. In many ways, this moment is similar to the time when Galileo first turned his telescope to the skies and realized that the Earth wasn't the center of the universe. Now, centuries later, humanity is once again looking into the cosmos and seeing something unexpected. And just like back then, it's not the instruments that are wrong, it's the assumptions we made before we had the technology to look closer. The question that now haunts astronomers is how these massive galaxies came to be so early. For them to exist, the first stars would have had to ignite, burn through their fuel, explode in supernovae, and then seed new generations of stars, all within a few 100 million years. That timeline is not just tight, it's almost impossible under current models. Either matter was clumping together far more rapidly than expected, or the laws of physics behaved differently in the early universe. Both options have enormous implications. Dr. Kaku also pointed out the possibility that dark matter, the invisible scaffolding of the universe, might play a bigger role than previously thought. Perhaps it accelerated galaxy formation. Or perhaps there are forces at play that we haven't even detected yet. Kaku has often speculated about the possibility of dimensions beyond the familiar three of space and one of time. Maybe, he suggests, these hidden dimensions influenced the early universe in ways we're only beginning to grasp. In interviews and lectures, Kaku emphasized that the James Webb data should be a call to action for the scientific community. He believes we're entering a new era, one that requires open minds, bold theories, and a willingness to discard even our most cherished ideas if they no longer fit the evidence. This is how science progresses, not through comfort, but through crisis. The images captured by the telescope are beautiful, but they are also disturbing in their implications. They show a universe far more complex, dynamic, and chaotic than the one described in textbooks. And yet, this is not the first time science has been humbled by nature. Time and again, when new tools have allowed us to look deeper, whether through microscopes, particle accelerators, or telescopes, we've discovered that reality is stranger than fiction. The James Webb Space Telescope is simply the latest instrument to remind us of that truth. But what sets this discovery apart is its scale. We are not just rewriting a chapter of cosmic history. We may be rewriting the entire book. The telescope has also revealed other anomalies, such as galaxies shaped in ways that defy gravitational logic, stars with chemical signatures that suggest elements were present before they should have existed, and enormous black holes whose formation cannot be explained by any known mechanism. Each of these findings chips away at the standard model, forcing scientists to return to the drawing board. Dr. Kaku has urged young physicists to embrace this chaos, to see it not as a threat, but as an invitation to explore. He argues that these mysteries are precisely what makes science exciting. Kaku has often spoken about how the greatest leaps in science come not from confirming what we already know, but from discovering what we don't. The James Webb images, in his view, are not just data, they are an invitation to think bigger. He compares this moment to the early days of quantum physics, when classical ideas failed to explain the behavior of particles at the smallest scales. Back then, the universe forced scientists to abandon certainty and accept a new, stranger reality. Today, we may be at the threshold of another such revolution, this time on a cosmic scale. As more images and data pour in, astronomers are scrambling to find explanations that could reconcile what they see with what they believe. Some suggest that our measurements of cosmic distances might be off. Others speculate that the expansion rate of the universe, known as the Hubble constant, could be different in the early universe than it is today. But each of these explanations comes with its own complications, and none fully account for the scale and maturity of the galaxies observed. This has led some researchers, including Kaku, to consider more radical alternatives like modified gravity theories, or even the idea that the Big Bang itself might not have happened in the way we think. One of the most compelling aspects of Michio Kaku's commentary is his ability to connect the scientific with the philosophical. He doesn't just ask what these galaxies are or how they formed, he asks what they mean. If the universe is more complex than we imagined, then our place within it may also be more complex. Are we truly on the verge of understanding the grand design of everything, or are we merely scratching the surface of a reality that's forever beyond our comprehension? Kaku doesn't claim to have the answers, but he insists that the questions themselves are worth pursuing with renewed vigor. He has also pointed out that these findings could impact other areas of science, including string theory, a framework he has long supported as a candidate for the theory of everything. String theory posits that all particles and forces are manifestations of tiny vibrating strings existing in multiple dimensions. If the early universe behaved differently than expected, perhaps due to interactions with hidden dimensions, then the James Webb data might offer indirect support for these ideas. It could even provide hints about how gravity behaves at quantum scales, something that has eluded physicists for decades. But even if string theory remains unproven, Kaku emphasizes that the current crisis in cosmology is healthy. It means we are seeing further, thinking harder, and questioning deeper than ever before. This, he says, is exactly what science is supposed to do. It's not about defending old ideas, but about evolving them in light of new evidence. And there's no better evidence than what comes straight from the universe itself. Public interest in the James Webb findings has also surged, not just among scientists, but among ordinary people who are captivated by the beauty and mystery of the cosmos. Social media is filled with images of galaxies, nebulae, and stars, along with endless questions and theories. Some speculate about alien civilizations, others wonder if the multiverse is real. While Kaku remains cautious about jumping to such conclusions, he appreciates the excitement and the thirst for knowledge that the telescope has reignited. He believes that this is a golden opportunity to inspire a new generation of scientists, dreamers, and thinkers who will carry the torch of discovery into the future. In his recent talks, Kaku has called for more investment in science education and public outreach. He believes that discoveries like these should not be confined to academic journals or technical papers. They should be shared, debated, and celebrated by everyone. After all, the universe belongs to all of us, and its mysteries are part of our shared human heritage. The more people understand what's at stake, the more they can contribute, whether through research, education, or simply by nurturing a sense of wonder. One point he often returns to is humility. The more we learn about the universe, the more we realize how little we truly know. We once thought Earth was the center of everything. Then we learned it was just one planet orbiting one star among hundreds of billions. Now we see that even our galaxy is just one among trillions, and that the laws we thought governed everything might only be local rules in a far vaster, stranger reality. If that doesn't inspire humility, nothing will. Kaku has urged scientists not to rush to close the gaps in our understanding with quick fixes or assumptions. Instead, he advocates for patience and creativity. He believes that the answers we seek might lie in places we haven't even looked yet, in the behavior of subatomic particles, in the fabric of space-time, or in the ghostly footprints left by the earliest moments of existence. The James Webb Telescope, in his view, is not just a machine, it's a message. And that message is clear. The universe still has secrets. As new papers are written and theories debated, Kaku continues to be a voice of reason and inspiration. He reminds us that confusion is not failure. It's the first step toward understanding. He urges scientists to ask the hard questions, to be brave enough to admit what they don't know, and to pursue the truth wherever it leads, even if that truth is uncomfortable. Even if it means letting go of the very models that have guided us for a century. He compares the situation to being lost in a forest. For a long time, we thought we knew the path. Now, with the new light offered by the James Webb Telescope, we see that the path may be longer, more twisted, and filled with more surprises than we ever imagined. But that's not a reason to turn back. It's a reason to press forward with sharper tools, deeper questions, and open minds. One of the most fascinating elements of Kaku's reflections on the James Webb discoveries is his emphasis on paradigm shifts. In science, a paradigm shift occurs when the dominant framework that guides understanding is replaced by a new one that better explains the evidence. This has happened before. Newtonian physics gave way to Einstein's relativity, and classical mechanics bowed to quantum theory. Kaku believes we may now be on the edge of another such shift, one that redefines cosmology itself. The data we are receiving is not an anomaly, it's a signal that the universe is more layered, more fluid, and more unpredictable than we've ever imagined. He often invokes the idea that we are in the adolescence of our scientific maturity. While we've come far, we're still piecing together a puzzle without knowing what the final picture is supposed to look like. The galaxies, stars, and black holes revealed by the James Webb Telescope are like pieces that don't quite fit the current framework. And yet, they are undeniably real. They exist. The challenge now is not to force them into our existing picture, but to revise the picture entirely. And that takes courage, both intellectual and institutional. Kaku has been vocal about the need for scientific institutions to support bold, unconventional thinking. The discoveries being made demand a level of flexibility that traditional academic structures often resist. Grants and publications tend to favor safe, incremental research. But what we need now, he says, are visionary leaps. We need to invest in ideas that seem outlandish today, but may become the cornerstones of tomorrow's science. This includes everything from alternate models of the Big Bang to simulations of higher-dimensional physics. He is also quick to caution against sensationalism. While the images are stunning and the implications profound, he urges both scientists and the public to remain grounded. The process of scientific revision is slow, methodical, and driven by data. Wild speculation without evidence can be as damaging as blind adherence to outdated models. Still, he insists that curiosity must lead the way. The universe has given us a glimpse of its deeper story. It's up to us to listen carefully and respond thoughtfully. What makes Kaku's voice stand out in the scientific community is his ability to blend complex physics with accessible metaphors. He speaks of the universe as a symphony and science as our attempt to decode its notes. The James Webb Telescope, he says, is like a new instrument added to the orchestra, one capable of hearing frequencies we never knew existed. And now that we've heard those new notes, we can no longer pretend they aren't there. We must rewrite the sheet music. We must expand the song. He believes that the coming decades will see an explosion of new theories, many of which will conflict and contradict each other. This is not a sign of confusion, but of growth. Just as biology experienced a revolution with the discovery of DNA and physics was transformed by quantum mechanics, cosmology is now poised for its next leap. And while the journey may be chaotic, the destination promises to be more comprehensive, more accurate, and more beautiful than what we know today. The James Webb Space Telescope has done more than photograph ancient light. It has illuminated the limitations of our knowledge and revealed the contours of questions we didn't even know we should ask. From the strange maturity of early galaxies to the unexplained existence of supermassive black holes, the anomalies it reveals aren't inconveniences, they are clues. Clues that point toward a more complete understanding of the universe's birth, structure, and destiny. Kaku has made it clear that the scientific world stands at a crossroads. We can either cling to familiar but insufficient models, or we can embark on a journey into the unknown, driven by curiosity and guided by evidence. He, for one, has chosen the latter, and he invites the rest of us, scientists, students, dreamers, and thinkers alike, to come along. As more data flows in, theories will rise and fall, conferences will be held, debates will rage, and textbooks will be rewritten. But beneath all of that activity lies a deeper truth. We are living in a moment of discovery, a moment when the universe is opening itself to us in new and unexpected ways. And in that moment, people like Michio Kaku serve as both interpreters and visionaries, reminding us that the pursuit of truth is never finished, and that the real power of science lies not in its certainty, but in its wonder. With every image sent back from the edge of time, we are reminded that the cosmos is still full of surprises. We are reminded that knowledge is not a destination, but a journey. And most importantly, we are reminded that the more we learn, the more there is to learn. Michio Kaku's reaction to the James Webb revelations is not just scientific commentary. It is a call to wonder, a call to explore, and a call to rethink everything we thought we knew about the universe.